A 22-year-old news anchor walks into her boss's office at WJZ-TV in Baltimore. She's being called in for a meeting. She thinks it's about a promotion. Instead, her boss tells her she's being removed from the evening news. She's too emotional, too involved with the stories. She doesn't have the right look. She's unfit for television news. Oprah Winfrey has just been fired from her dream job. Most people would quit TV forever, except that they're not cut out for it. Find a different career. But Oprah's boss makes a decision that will accidentally change television history. Instead of firing her completely, he demotes her to a struggling morning talk show that nobody watches. It's supposed to be a punishment, a way to quietly get rid of her. But that demotion will become the greatest opportunity of Oprah's life. Because on that little morning show, she'll discover something nobody expected. She's not meant to report the news. She's meant to connect with people, and that connection will turn her into the most influential woman in media history. This is the story of how getting fired became the best thing that ever happened to Oprah Winfrey. Let's rewind to 1973. Oprah Winfrey was 19 years old working in Nashville, Tennessee. She'd just become the youngest and first black female news anchor at WJZ-TV. It was a huge achievement. Oprah was smart, articulate, and worked incredibly hard. She was making a name for herself. By 1976, at just 22 years old, she was recruited to co-anchor the 6 p.m. evening news at WJZ-TV in Baltimore. It was a major market, a big step up. Oprah thought she'd made it. But from the start, something was wrong. Oprah wasn't like other news anchors. When she reported on tragedies, fires, accidents, deaths, she felt the pain of the people she was covering. She cried on air. She got emotionally involved. Her producers hated it. They wanted her to be detached, professional, objective. But Oprah couldn't do it. She cared too much. And then there was the issue of her appearance. The station's management didn't think Oprah had the right look for an evening news anchor. They sent her to a salon in New York to get a makeover. The hairdresser gave her a perm that was so harsh, her hair started falling out. Oprah was devastated. But the worst part was the criticism. Her bosses told her she was too friendly with the people she interviewed. She asked too many personal questions. She made the stories about emotions instead of facts. In 1977, after just 8 months as co-anchor, Oprah was pulled into her boss's office. They were demoting her. She was being removed from the evening news and reassigned to a struggling morning talk show called People Are Talking. It was humiliating. Oprah felt like a failure. She thought her career was over, but she had a contract, so the station couldn't fire her outright. Instead, they put her on the talk show, a format they thought she'd fail at, and hoped she'd quit. Oprah didn't quit. On her first day hosting People Are Talking, something incredible happened. Oprah sat down with guests and just talked to them. Not as a reporter interrogating sources, but as a human being connecting with other human beings. She asked how they felt, what they feared, what made them happy. She laughed with them. She cried with them. She was real, and the audience loved it. Within weeks, People Are Talking went from the lowest-rated show in its time slot to the highest. Viewers couldn't get enough of Oprah's warmth, honesty, and authenticity. Oprah had finally found her calling, not reporting the news, but creating a space where people could share their stories and feel heard. In 1984, after 7 years in Baltimore, Oprah got a call. A Chicago TV station, WLS-TV, wanted her to host a struggling morning show called AM Chicago. It was in last place in the ratings, going up against the legendary Phil Donahue. Oprah took the job. Within 1 month, AM Chicago overtook Donahue in the ratings. 1 month. The show was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show. And in 1986, it went national. By the end of the 1980s, Oprah wasn't just a talk show host. She was a cultural phenomenon. Her show covered everything, from serious social issues like racism and abuse to lighter topics like book clubs and celebrity interviews. Oprah didn't just interview people. She made you feel like you were part of the conversation. Like she was talking directly to you. In 1988, Oprah made a bold move. She bought the rights to her show and formed her own production company, Harpo Productions. It was almost unheard of for a black woman to own her own media company at that time. But Oprah believed in ownership. She'd learned from being fired that the only way to have real control was to own your work. For 25 years, The Oprah Winfrey Show was the highest-rated talk show in American television history. It reached millions of viewers in over 140 countries. Oprah became one of the most powerful women in the world. She launched the careers of Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. She created Oprah's Book Club, which could turn any book into a bestseller overnight. She became a billionaire. In 2011, Oprah ended her talk show and launched OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. It struggled at first. Critics called it a failure. But Oprah didn't give up. She invested her own money, redesigned the programming, and turned it into a success. Today, Oprah Winfrey is worth over $2.5 billion. She's produced award-winning films and TV shows. She's one of the most influential philanthropists in the world. And it all started because she got fired. So what happened? Getting fired from the evening news wasn't a failure. It was a redirection. Oprah was trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for her. She was trying to be a traditional news anchor, when her real gift was connection. Being demoted to a talk show forced her to discover what she was actually good at: listening, empathizing, and making people feel seen. If Oprah had succeeded as a news anchor, she probably would have spent her career reading teleprompters and covering tragedies. She never would have built an empire. Losing that job was the best thing that ever happened to her. When the station told Oprah she was unfit for television news, they were right. But they were wrong about what that meant. Oprah wasn't unfit for TV. She was unfit for their version of TV, and that's why she created her own. Oprah didn't try to be like other talk show hosts. She didn't copy Phil Donahue or anyone else. She was unapologetically herself, emotional, curious, empathetic. And that authenticity is what made her unstoppable. Oprah Winfrey was fired at 22, told she was unfit for television, humiliated and demoted. But she turned that failure into a platform that reached billions of people. She built a media empire. She became one of the most powerful women in history. Because sometimes getting fired isn't the end. It's the beginning of something bigger than you ever imagined.